Yes, it's great to be here. Nice to meet you all as well. I hope you all have a lot of good luck with your ventures, and hopefully you'll start something amazing. So Starnow, for people who don't know much about us, we are a talent and casting service for the entertainment industry. So the easiest way to think about this is that Trade Me brings together buyers and sellers, and we at Starnow bring together the talent, so actors, models and musicians, and the people looking to cast that talent. We cover the entire range of the entertainment industry, so along with actors, models and musicians, we have categories up there like dancers, film and stage crew, reality TV, photographers. And every month we do over 6,000 projects cast throughout our site, and these are from the big names like BBC and MTV down to local musicians just looking to start a band and take on the world. That's one of our members there. She's pretty successful, won all sorts of things. So I'd like to tell you a few stories about how we got started. And basically, we were three guys with an idea just in our living room, and now we have a staff of around 25 people. We're just about to hit our 2 millionth member. We actually have a competition on the site now, so if you join up, you could be the 2 millionth member. And the website does around 15 million page views every month, and overall we've helped cast 200,000 projects. So our story really begins back in Trade Me, where I was working as a developer with a couple of friends. And Trade Me is where, and this was actually back in 2004, Trade Me is where we saw firsthand just how exciting running a business could be, and also the immense potential of internet businesses. And this was way back in the day when Trade Me was really just a startup and no one had really heard of them. So we were quite inspired by this, and we thought we really want to start a company, myself and our friends. But being young at that stage and like a typical Kiwi guys, we had itchy feet, so we really thought, you know, we want to go overseas. How do we do these things? And we actually thought, well, let's just do both. So we quit our jobs and packed up and flew to London, basically with the goal, the dream of starting the next big thing. And it was kind of crazy looking back on that, because we were flying to literally the other side of the world, saying goodbye to everyone we knew, and really banking on being able to start a business that would earn us money and support us there straight away. So it was crazy, really, but you know, we were kind of young and maybe a little bit foolish, and we knew we were going to start an internet company. So all we thought we needed were our laptops and a place to live, and we'd be fine. So when we got to London, we hopped off the plane, and basically the first thing we thought was, okay, what now? But being in London really opened our eyes to all sorts of new opportunities, and being open to those opportunities is where Starnow came from. So we got off the plane in London, and there was quite a lot of culture shock, because at that time, 2004, the culture of the entertainment industry in the UK was completely different to New Zealand. So reality TV was starting to take off, and it was almost a career move, being on something like Big Brother, so completely different to anything we'd seen. And the other thing we noticed after talking to an acting friend was just how hard it was to find work in the acting, or in any industry really, in the entertainment industry. So our friend had an agent, and she was very talented, had won awards in New Zealand, but was just finding it very, very hard to get work in the UK. So you had all of these actors sitting by the phone waiting for their agent to call, or scouring newspapers looking for the next job. So we sat down and we put these two things together and thought, well, look, we can solve this problem, because you have shows that are looking to cast as many people as they can, and you have actors or anyone in the entertainment industry looking for these jobs. So we can build a website that connects these people and solves that problem. So we thought, look, let's just start with this. And we sat down and started writing code in our living room. And from that day to getting the first site live took around 1 month. And that's what we came up to. And it's really, really ugly. And it's super basic as well, but the most important thing was that it worked. So you could register, and you could apply to casting calls, and you could place casting calls. And that was crucially important at the time, because we hadn't really done any research. We talked to a few people and thought, this is a good idea, there's a problem here, we can solve this, but there was no way to really know for sure. So we thought it was a good idea, we thought it could be a great service, but until we went live, we were guessing to a large extent. So we worked away on this, and we put it live, and we're actually very nervous about the results. So we basically flicked the switch and went out drinking. So came back, and there was a range of emotions really, but we wanted to leave because we didn't want to sit there just refreshing and waiting for something to happen. So we went out for a drink, came back, and we were extremely nervous. So on the one hand, really, really excited because, you know, we put this thing live and maybe people were using it. But on the other hand, what if no one used it? You know, what if it was just a ghost town? So we came back and we hit refresh and checked, and, you know, fantastically, we had 30 members who had joined, and we had 2 payments. And that was the princely sum of £20. So, you know, not a lot for your first day, but at least it proved that it would work and that people were willing to pay for the service and that we're onto something. So that was phase 1, basically 1 month's work and the result of that idea. But looking back, that idea really is the easy part. So that was 7 years ago, and it's been 7 years of hard work ever since, and plenty of mistakes, which you all make when you start your own business. So we've made a lot. We've had big ones where we get distracted by marginal features, say, and you kind of waste time and effort doing something that's maybe in the roundup irrelevant for your company. And we've made lots of daft small mistakes. One of my favorites from one of the other co-founders was including Mexican in a list of languages. So that was good. He denies it, but it was definitely him. The trick, of course, is to not make the same mistake twice, and to also make sure you do something. Actually, that's the time it takes. We're still getting there. We've still got a million things to do in 7 years. But as I was saying, the trick is to not make the same mistake twice and do something you're passionate about, because then it doesn't really matter how many mistakes you make or how hard it gets, because, you know, you'll wake up and you'll literally love going to work in the morning, most mornings. And for us working at Starnow, part of the fun has been seeing all of the success stories from our members. So every day we get emails where people say, hey, look, you know, you've really helped my career, or you've given me the big break into film or TV or music. And it's hugely rewarding to see that from our members. Some of our favourite ones, we've had people declare their love for us in email. We've had a couple of marriage proposals. My favourite, though, is a guy in the UK who won a spot in a reality TV show through us. And he won the chance to basically live on a rubbish tip for 3 weeks. And his quote for us was, thanks to Starnow, I got to live in a dump. So I quite like that one. So on a personal level as well, part of the fun is that working on Starnow has actually been hugely enjoyable. So part of this is actually working with my co-founders who I really enjoy spending time with. So we're friends from way back, and we still enjoy working together. So I guess a little piece of advice for you as well is make sure you really enjoy the people you're building the company with, because if it all goes well, you'll be spending a really long time with them. So it goes for co-founders and for everyone you employ. As Mark said, you know, they'll have a huge impact on your culture. So hire great people. You'll be really spending a lot of time with them. The other thing we always agreed upon as co-founders was that if we were going to start something, we really thought we should be aiming big, because, you know, anything you start is going to be a lot of time and hard work, so it may as well be big. And from day one, we basically thought we want to build something that could really scale and that could be truly international. Now, part of where we came about this was we're in London, so we didn't really think of New Zealand as our market. But the other part is, even if we did, New Zealand will always be a tiny market. You know, there's 4 million people compared to 60-odd million in the UK where we launched. And also you have to get over the geographical problems. So we basically wanted to start a company that the location of where we were and our markets were irrelevant, and we could be truly international. And it's worked really well so far. So 99% of our revenue comes from the UK. 99% is outside of New Zealand. And our major markets are the UK, Australia, and the US, and we're looking to launch into foreign language countries very, very soon as well. So that's basically just a short summary of Starnow and how we came from 3 guys with our laptops in our living room. And as I said, we have 25 staff now, and the really, really good part is that we feel like we're just getting started. So we've got huge ideas and huge things we want to accomplish. So we're launching new products, we're launching into new markets. And it really feels like the sky's the limit. And just referencing what Mark said, we've actually hired a new CEO. So I was CEO for the first 7 years, and I've stepped aside because, to achieve what we want, we're trying to build a really, really good team, and we need skills to take Starnow further than what the founders, a very founder-centric company, can do. So we've hired a new CEO, and we're hiring all sorts of great people, and it really should be a fun time coming up. So I guess for everyone here, good luck with your ventures, work hard, take every opportunity, and most of all, enjoy it. Thanks.